we had our stars kind of aligned with, your radio show happening the way that it was at the time with Energy 106 and then me needing a new co-host for the show over 3 years ago. But if we had linked up to do the podcast during the peak of your radio career, do you think that we would have made it work, or things just wouldn't align quite right yet? Because we're talking, for those that don't know, you had, sorry to cut you off, you had 125,000 people listening every morning at any given time on the radio, and then they took that and they put that on TV, and you're on the TV show every morning.
I'll put it to you this way. I'll give you the exact same analogy I give when it comes to my wife and I. My wife and I met when I was 28, she was 27, and had we met earlier in life, I think we would have had way more kids. I would have had to have 5 or 6 kids. I think that would have been awesome. We only have 2. But I also think that if we would have met earlier in life, I don't think it would have worked out between us, because I still think her and I both had a lot of life to live in different aspects of what we were doing and what we wanted to accomplish. So I think the timing was perfect of us meeting. And I think it's the same goes for this podcast. I think there were still things that you needed to do and things that I was doing at the time. And I think the timing was perfect, and it's paying dividends now. And I think it's great. And I look forward to doing this as long as we possibly can.
I find it hard to watch some of the old clips, though. Like when I go to chop old clips up for our YouTube Clips channel or any contact sizzle reel stuff for sponsors, I find it hard to look at some of the old stuff that we were doing, like day 1, day 2, day 3, like early on days, just because we weren't getting our chemistry in yet. We weren't flowing the way that we are now. But yeah.
Hey, man, I will steal a line from Bill Burr when he was on Saturday Night Live last week hosting the show, and he says, you learn more from your losses than you do your wins. And that's why you go back to the game tape to make sure that you're learning from those. So I think it's great that you're going back and watching, and I think it's great that you can see the growth. And I think even going back, and as proud as we are of these recent shows, going back, months from now, you'll go back and go, ooh, that was cringy. Ooh, and that's good. That means there's growth. That means there's maturity, and that means that people are along for the ride and they're willing to sit through all that growth. So we appreciate everyone that tunes in, whether it be on the audio version or the video version, or all the people that have been taking in all those clips and those interviews with Ian White and Corey Schneider and all the ones that we appreciate the support. We love talking hockey, regardless if it's the NHL or American League or APHL or overseas or AAA or NCAA or PWHL. It's always been part of my life, and it always will be. I know it's always been a part of yours, and it always will be. And everyone who loves hockey, it's kind of like the old Joe Thornton thing. He was asked some questions the other day. He's like, I just love hockey, man. What do you want me to do? Whether I'm playing or not, I just love hockey. It's in my blood, and it always will be.
I think one of the greatest quotes of all time has to be when Thomas Hertl scored those 4 goals and made Marty Biron retire. Hey, Joe, what would you do if you had 4 goals?
Oh, careful.
I'd skate down to center. I'd stroke it. Right for everybody. All 20,000 the Shark Tank.
See, it's comments like that got other people canceled, like Jeremy Roenick when he got booted off of NBC for doing that interview on
Chicklets canceled him. Chicklets canceled Roenick. They canceled Bill Peters. They canceled Babcock. They've canceled a whole bunch of guys.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We do a new podcast every single Sunday during the season called Slangin The Bizkit. It is a non-mainstream hockey podcast, so we talk about my hockey career, the minor pros, Spain, the Fed, you name it, all the stuff that you won't hear in the mainstream news.
Music,
pop culture,
politics, a little bit.
Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.